In Black Like Me, John Howard Griffin takes us on an eye-opening journey into the racial divides of 1950s America. This book is more than just a personal memoir. It's a deep exploration of the psychological, social, and emotional effects of racism. Griffin, a white man, decides to become black by darkening his skin and living as a black man in the segregated South. Today we'll delve into the first chapters of the book to understand the themes of empathy, fear, and transformation, while examining the powerful symbols Griffin uses to convey his message. Griffin begins the book with a stark observation. He argues that the true story of racism is universal. He states, "The real story is the universal one of men who destroy the souls and bodies of other men, and in the process destroy themselves for reasons neither really understands." This opening sets the tone for the entire book. Griffin suggests that racism harms both the victim and the perpetrator. It's a destructive cycle that affects everyone involved, regardless of their race. This universal theme serves as a call to action, asking readers to reflect on their own role in the perpetuation of such systems of oppression. The idea that racism is not just an issue for black people, but something that degrades the humanity of all involved, is a central symbol in the book. Griffin's reflections here set up the deep empathy that will unfold as he embarks on his journey. Griffin's decision to undertake his experiment wasn't just intellectual, it was personal. He writes, "How else, except by becoming a Negro, could a white man hope to learn the truth?" This statement signals a turning point in the book. For Griffin, understanding racism means living it. His journey symbolizes the need for deep empathy, an empathy that goes beyond academic study or surface-level understanding. Griffin's willingness to embody the black experience in order to fully comprehend its gravity becomes a powerful metaphor for how much more is required than just awareness or knowledge. Griffin challenges readers to question how they understand race. He asks, is it enough to study it from the outside, or do we need to walk in another person's shoes to truly grasp their struggles? As Griffin prepares for the physical transformation, he is overwhelmed with fear. He writes about his terrible dread of what lies ahead. This fear is not just about the unknown, it's about stepping into a reality where he will be subjected to racism firsthand. Griffin's anxiety is symbolic of the general reluctance many white people feel when facing the harsh realities of racial discrimination. The fear isn't just about physical danger, though there is real danger, but about the psychological discomfort of confronting privilege and power dynamics. This fear foreshadows the emotional and moral struggle Griffin will face as he moves from being an outsider to becoming part of a system designed to oppress him. Before he begins, Griffin talks to his friends, including George Leviton and Adele Jackson. Leviton warns Griffin that his experiment could cost him his life, while Jackson expresses concern that Griffin may not truly understand the risks. These warnings serve as a reminder of the deep racial divisions that exist in society. Leviton's concerns highlight the very real dangers black people face every day. Yet his warning also symbolizes the hesitance within white communities to fully understand or empathize with the black experience. This conversation between friends is a powerful symbol of the skepticism that accompanies efforts to bridge the racial divide. The emotional and physical costs of truly understanding racism are clear, and these discussions illustrate the barriers that society has created to prevent such understanding. Griffin arrives in New Orleans, and the contrast between the city's beauty and the harshness of racial segregation strikes him. Despite the vibrant, colorful environment of the French Quarter, Griffin realizes that racism permeates every aspect of life. Griffin's first real experience as a black man in the city shows how racism operates even in the most lively, colorful spaces. The city, full of life, becomes a symbol of the duality of American society, where the beauty of culture and humanity exists alongside the ugliness of racial divisions. This contrast highlights the disconnect between the image of racial harmony in public spaces and the reality of exclusion in private lives. Griffin's initial observations are a sharp commentary on how systemic racism hides behind the facade of cultural richness. To begin his experiment, Griffin physically darkens his skin. This transformation becomes more than just a change in appearance. It symbolizes the way race is socially constructed. The act of changing his skin color is an artificial process, underscoring that race is an arbitrary classification imposed by society. Griffin's transformation symbolizes how superficial and arbitrary race really is. It's not about any inherent difference in biology or humanity. Rather, race is a construct, a label placed on people to divide them into categories. This transformation is a metaphor for the shallow nature of racial classifications. The early chapters of Black Like Me introduce us to Griffin's journey as more than just an experiment in social science. It is an act of radical empathy. By physically and psychologically becoming a black man, Griffin challenges both himself and his readers to rethink their perceptions of race, identity, and empathy. As Griffin embarks on this journey, he faces not only the physical dangers of racism, but the moral and emotional challenges of stepping into another person's life. His journey becomes a call to action for all of us to not only reflect on race, but to act, by stepping outside of our own lives and truly understanding the experiences of others. John Howard Griffin's journey in Black Like Me shows that empathy and understanding cannot exist in the abstract. We must be willing to face the discomfort of transformation, confront our own biases, and ultimately share in the humanity of others. Griffin's experiment is a reminder that the fight against racism is a fight for our collective humanity.